substantial completion of the long-term improvements. We reached substantial completion on February 13th, with the exception of the chemical feed system, which was completed February 21st. So as far as the consent decree that the district is under, we've reached quite a bit of milestone with substantial completion of the long-term improvements. In the long-term improvements, that includes the addition of a new third secondary clarifier, the main influent pumps, a new generator, primary clarifiers, rebuild of the primary clarifiers, all associated wiring in variable frequency drives to deal with the main influent pumps, new RAS pumps, new WAS pumps. All that equipment is now online. Ron had told me that one of the things that he brought up was at the last quarterly, or for the last quarterly report, was the district was holding monies from the contractor for fines that could have been associated, but that could have been assessed by EPA and DEP. We did receive notification from EPA on March 10th that we were released of any, or that the contractor and the district were released of any penalties or fines associated with the lateness of the completion of the long-term improvements. We were supposed to be completed under the consent decree by June 17th, but there was an issue with manufacturing of the main influent pumps and motors, which actually put the contract behind considerably. Right now, the only thing that's left is the completion of the final punch list, which the contractor has about 30 days. One of the other issues that the district is working on right now is we've gone out to bid for slope stabilization. What this entails is there's about 1,000 feet of riverbank that is parallel to the district, the Hoosac River, which since October 2005 has been washing away. I applied to the NRCS for a grant for additional funding to help repair this, and the district was awarded a grant. We were awarded a grant back in 2006, and we just went to bid on that in the beginning of, or the middle of February. However, it has not been awarded because we're waiting approval of DEP. That's pretty much it, what's going on with the district. I mean, things are going fairly smoothly. There was a lot of interruptions to deal with the long-term improvements, as far as shutting down different sections of the plant as the construction went on. It was very difficult. It's taken a lot of the district personnel and time dealing with the long-term improvements because of, just dealing with shutdowns in the process control. One, dealing with the flow is, that was part of the long-term improvements. We had asked for an increase of flow. The design capacity of the plant was a 5.375 million gallon per day plant. With the completion of the long-term improvements, we have now gone to a 6.5 million gallon per day plant. So as far as increase in flow, we do have an increase in flow, and I have been approached, and I have had many people call me and ask me about additional people adding either in Clarksburg, North Adams, or Williamstown. And the reason for the additional flow basically is the plant was designed too small from the start. It just couldn't handle the flow that originally was put to the plant. So that was one of the big factors of getting the design flow increased a little bit, so we actually didn't violate that parameter of our permit. As far as the I&I issues, Williamstown's and North Adams infrastructures are very old. Both communities know that. I've been working right along with Williamstown and North Adams. Recently, I've been speaking with North Adams and Williamstown about pinpointing different sections, either the city or in the town, of where we can start looking at for additional sampling to try and try and figure out exactly what is going on, whether it's in the city or in the town. The district, as part of the consent decree, the district purchased multiple influent meters, and I've been speaking with the highway department here in the city and in the town of Williamstown, and we're determining different points of where we're going to start looking. It's like trying to look at a needle in a haystack, but if we don't start looking somewhere, we're not going to find it. And the only way we're going to find it is to start sampling these points, large sections of the city or large sections of the town of Williamstown, during dry conditions and wet conditions, and start determining what we're going to see for additional flows.
And the grant, is that going to cover the full cost of the stabilization, or will the town's, the city be assessed anything?
Under the long-term improvements, the district was approved through the SRF loan up to $7.4 million. We only ended up using approximately $6.3 million. The project for the slope stabilization is approximately $1.03 million. So the grant was for $928,000. So approximately around $270,000 is going to additionally come from the SRF funding that was originally slated for long-term improvements of the district anyways.
Just a question on the I&I. We typically during the day are processing so many million gallons, and then during the rainy type of season like we just had with all the weather, how much does that increase on a really bad rainy day? So you get a better idea of how bad this I&I is.
Well, it differs. It really differs depending on the storm. I've seen the flows go from, right now we're running about probably about 6.5 to 7 million gallons per day. The last storm that we just had, which was substantial rain, where it flashed, our flows went up as high as 19 million. It would peak at like 19 million. For a 24-hour total, we had like, I think it was 14.7 million. However, even when we're flowing that much water through the plant, we still don't violate any parameters.
This is all water that should never be entering the system.
It's generally what it is it's pretty much clean water.
Right.
That's where your I&I
Someone
is.
finds a ways in the sewer pipes the way it goes.
Yes.
Thank you.